Welcome to the Breadbox TTRPG review for Trial of the Slime Lord by Jordan Rudd. This module for Shadowdark RPG is a gauntlet adventure for a party of level 0 characters and spans 15 pages. As a gauntlet, the trial serves as an introduction to OSR games for new players. With the classic OSR style and economy of play, it provides an idiosyncratic origin story, oozing with creativity that naturally arises from play. It's a great jumping-off point for any fledgling Shadowdark campaign that needs a little bit of fuel to turn a spark into a world on fire. Shadowdark gauntlets follow in the tradition of the common funnel adventure popularized by Goodman Games' Dungeon Crawl Classics. For those unaware, gauntlet adventures consist of each player controlling a stable of level 0 characters with no backstory, class, or suite of abilities. Through the course of these highly lethal meatgrinder modules, these characters craft their backstories and ethos through hard-won victories, eventually coming out the other end with a fresh character level, class, and new direction in life. This style of play embodies one of the most important aspects of the game for me. Narrative and development not as a premeditated and solitary feature, but as a natural consequence of at-the-table play with all of its in-jokes and twists. It is this kind of approach to game design that better realizes tabletop for the bespoke medium that it is. The medium is the message, and the message here, within the walls of the Slime Lord, is one of cooperation, shared trials, and zany nonsense. The Trial of the Slime Lord does an excellent job in providing a starting point for new campaigns. Awakening in a dark chamber with the last little shred of daylight extinguished by cultist kidnappers, the players are immediately thrown a torch to cling to as the Shadowdark envelops them. This intro succeeds in rapidly setting the stakes and establishing the players in this module, as well as establishing what is, to me, the single biggest concept of the work: a razor-sharp sense of economy that demands players place their inventory slots at the center of play. Jordan Rudd makes the demand of your players that they become tabletop MacGyvers in order to overcome the Slime Lord's trial. And in this, he succeeds spectacularly. The sheer impoverishment my players felt as they traversed this dungeon's corridors had them viewing 60 feet of rope as if it were a wish spell. If OSR gaming is about immersive play based upon world interaction, and gauntlet adventures are meant as an introduction to this subculture of play, then Trial of the Slime Lord executes on its assignment to a T. The truly non-linear nature of the dungeon adds a dynamism that will delight GMs and blow the minds of new players beginning to understand the richness of a new style of play. I have run this module twice, and in both cases, my players hopped the guardrails and skipped out of there early by throwing caution to the wind, embracing desperation, and prioritizing a play-to-win attitude over the standard be a good friend and play along with the GM's planned story that can spell doom for many groups. This desperation from the players also speaks to the adequate pressure placed on the party by the threats Rudd has arranged amongst the dungeon halls. Players will be pulled between the allure of two compelling puzzles spread across the dungeon, and a brutal random encounter table that ticks down with every roll, bringing them closer and closer to an inevitable encounter with the Slime Lord itself. The dungeon's two puzzles are technically completely skippable. Both are thoughtful and creative and a heck of a lot of fun to run. Where Rudd's vision gets slightly tripped up is when these two separate puzzles get tangled up amongst each other's clues that players can easily misattribute. In the 2 times I ran this, as I previously mentioned, neither party solved the puzzles, but instead opted to take 2 of the hidden shortcut exits that Rudd has included in the dungeon. One of them included a near certain chance of drowning through a rushing underground river that half the party decided to commit to, with very lucky results. The other involved the party meatgrindering themselves against an extremely intimidating pack of hungry wolves, and through clever thinking and profoundly lucky rolls on the item table, one single survivor was able to make it out, barely alive. I don't know that I've ever experienced running a dungeon that was this absurdly dynamic as the 2 back-to-back experiences I had. I was at first skeptical of the inclusion of these shortcut exits that came at a high cost. And now, on the other side of this experience, I'm tempted to include these kind of Mario Kart-style shortcuts in every dungeon I design. Drilling down into the concrete details of this piece, Trial of the Slime Lord spans 15 pages, offers 6 original stat blocks, 4 imaginative magic items, and a truly uncanny cult that is ripe for world building. Rudd includes in this module tables that range from names for your scabrous level 0 yokels to ways in which those very dirt farmers may trip balls from ill-advised slime consumption. The tables, just like its art, are dripping with a kind of evocative, fun meanness that does a great job of creating the kind of tone at the table where everyone can greet inevitable and horrifying character death with gleeful laughter. Highest among these random elements is surely its equipment table. It is this table you will surely use the most, and that will be the greatest hinge point on determining your party's chance of survival. This generous and creative spirit underpinning the Trial's random tables is also where the module's Achilles heel lies. The module isn't nearly organized enough for this number of tables, some hiding in room descriptions, some at the beginning of the book, and some dwelling at the end. I would have preferred to have an appendix that included all tables together, or even just random tables appearing in descriptions as well as in an appendix. As it is, the layout of the module works against GMs at times by unnecessarily scattering critical references across its pages with insufficient care paid to usability at the table. Beyond this, the adventure is laid out in the standard Shattered formatting, and while this works well, it isn't going to be winning any awards for uniqueness. At the very same time, though, that is precisely the strength of Kelsey's vision. The black and white, high contrast, emboldened layout is a democratized approach to indie publishing. It takes guesswork and struggle out of an aspect of the medium that many would prefer to remain an afterthought. That Rudd crams in so many rich and novel ideas into his work with a simple design is a testament to this. Trial of the Slime Lord is the de facto gauntlet module for Shadowdark RPG. Despite running the module twice already, I would not hesitate to run it again on account of its dynamism, clever puzzle design, and fun exploration of a monster type that is often overlooked. You can pick up Trial of the Slime Lord in PDF form from DriveThruRPG for free. Start your campaign off without a neurotic set of expectations, but with a trust fall and a healthy embrace of uncertainty. You will come away from this adventure with a better understanding of the collective nature of tabletop gaming that is so obvious you'll be in disbelief that the atomized nature of modern play ever convinced you otherwise. Sink your teeth into a brutal, silly, and mean slime-powered module that understands the medium and certainly understands the message. And God bless you.
Breadbox Tabletop Role-Playing Games. Like, subscribe, bell icon for notifications. Go in peace.